Rich, what's happening?
It's opening night, man.
This is like
We got
it's like Christmas Eve for the baseball fans. For
pretty
players that
much,
start tomorrow. Players that start tomorrow. And there's two teams playing
yeah.
tonight. It's like that Christmas
Yeah,
Eve people that go to church and then they come home and they find Santa came to the house.
boy, for those people that have Logan Webb on their fantasy team or a certain individual in our group that picked him to win the Cy Young, not the best start. 2 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned, 4 Ks, a 22.5 ERA out of the box for Logan Webb. And the craziest part, Aaron Judge is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Rich, you gotta move your camera down a little bit.
Huh?
Can you move your camera down a little bit?
No.
Or sit up more?
Fine.
I mean, you're 8 foot tall.
Well.
Anyway.
But, yeah, so Yankees are up 5-0 in the bottom of the second.
A win's a win,
Yeah,
Rich.
Sir?
A win's a win. Doesn't matter who does
No,
what.
I understand. But I certainly did not expect Logan Webb to be getting hammered like this.
You're playing the Bombers. That's the Yankees team name, right? New York Bombers.
That would be the Bronx Bombers.
Right?
Of course, I don't expect Max Fried to get out of this whole thing unscathed. So, but
rookie coach, college rookie coach, to put it more in perspective, it could be.
I still think the Giants I think they're going to do well this year. I really do. They got a couple of guys that kind of fly under the radar that are borderline superstars.
Okay.
Elliot Ramos is a hell of a left fielder. And Patrick Bailey is a really, really good catcher. So we'll see how it plays, but kind of interested on that. Have you seen the final roster?
I looked it over.
Sir?
I looked at it.
So we were right on a bunch, off on a little bit. For all of you folks out there, catchers on the opening day roster, Joey Bart and Henry Davis, which we kind of all agreed with. Outfielders, Billy Cook, O'Neill Cruz, Jake Mangum, Brian Reynolds, Nick York, and depending if you want to call him an infielder or an outfielder, Ryan O'Hearn. Infielders, Jared Triolo, Nick Gonzalez, Spencer Horwitz, Brandon Lau, and then, of course, Marcelo Zuna in the DH spot. And I promise you, if he ever puts a glove on this season, we're in big trouble. Pitching staff, couple of surprises here. But Braxton Ashcraft, Bubba Chandler, Mitch Keller, Paul Skeens, and Carmen Ledzinski are your starting five. Hunter Barco made the team. Isaac Madison, I was surprised, made the team. Mason Montgomery, Johan Ramirez, Dennis Santana, Gregory Soto, and Jose Urquidy. That is your roster for the at least the 26-man roster for opening day for your fighting Pittsburgh Pirates. I know there's one glaring omission on your
Billy Cook, baby.
Huh?
Says Billy Cook made this roster.
I like the fact that Billy Cook made the roster. I like the fact that Nick York made the roster.
I like Nick York, but Billy Cook, he's had 6 at-bats in the majors.
I understand. I told you earlier I thought Cook was going to make it.
I know. Don't understand.
But I know there's a glaring omission for you anyway, not for me. Being one Connor Griffin, he got sent down last week. I'm sorry. Yeah, he hit 4 bombs. I get it. But he also hit a $179 and struck out 16 times. And if he does that in Pittsburgh, they're going to be ready to run him out of town at the end of April. And then,
no,
yeah, they will.
Not this kid. Marcelo, no, Cruz struck out 1 million times last year. He hit a bomb and he was praised. I don't want to hear it. That's all you,
Okay.
that's all you gotta do. All you gotta do is hit a bomb anymore, Rich, and everything's back to analytics. He's gonna hit a bomb 1 out of 4 times.
Okay.
Out of
But
9
even
times.
at his worst, O'Neal Cruz wasn't hitting a $170.
Let's take a look. I
I'm
don't know.
telling you, Griffin,
I don't know. I'm
Griffin's,
just saying that strikeout thing doesn't matter anymore. It's not a
but
stat
he's not.
anymore, Rich. It's not a
But
stat anymore.
even when he's hitting it, it's either home run or nothing.
Me and you might
He's
think
Joey Gallo. He's Joey Gallo right now, except that he plays a hell of a shortstop.
I'm just
But
saying. I get it. Now we're gonna get another year out of him for free. Yeah.
well, but the thing I'm looking at is, I honestly believe, and I said this before, and I'm going to stay with it. I think he spends a month in AAA, and somebody, whether it's Cook, York, whoever, is going to get sent down, and we're going to see Griffin up. I will be surprised if we don't see him by May 1st. So it does kind of make it a little bit confusing as far as who's going to be the starting shortstop tomorrow against the Mets. I mean, my guess, I don't know what you think. My guess is it's either Gonzalez or Triolo.
It's going to be Nick York.
You think York's going to start?
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't even considered putting him there.
I heard Don Kelly say something about it the other day.
Did you take the
bet on FanDuel this morning?
Which bet?
8,000 to 1 to win the World Series this morning, and it dropped to 5,000 whenever I just went and looked.
Yeah, but see, I can't make bets like that in Texas.
Oh. Ugh. Horrible state.
But in my mind's eye,
if I would have seen it this morning, I would have put a buck on it. But I saw it at 5,000, and I was like, I'm not even going to do it.
Hell, I'd put $2 on it.
I might. I didn't. I don't know. I just looked at it real quick before the show came on. I just wanted to see.
$2 to win 10K. Okay.
I get it.
But in my mind's eye, I could see Triolo at third, Gonzalez at short, Lau at second, and then Horwitz or O'Hearn at first. We got a right-handed pitcher on the hill for the Mets tomorrow in Freddie Peralta.
And I was looking over stats earlier, Rich. This team's not very good against Freddie Peralta. And if one guy's going to know this team, it's going to be Freddie Peralta. I think I saw O'Neal Cruz is batting 136 off of him or something like that. I don't know if it might be against the whole Mets team or something, but I know it wasn't very good.
Well, you got to remember, too, that, he's coming from Milwaukee, who the Pirates saw numerous times a season. It's not.
He knows his team.
Yeah, it's not like the rest of the the Mets staff.
Now the Mets do know Marcelo. Now the Mets do know Marcelo Ozuna, though, playing for the Braves last year.
For the Braves, yeah.
I think he played 36 games or something total against the Mets. I think he's batting 233, 16 bombs. Marcelo Ozuna had a good little track record against this team.
Yeah, I mean, I will not be surprised if Ozuna hits 40 for the Pirates this year. Freddie Peralta is 4-2 with an ERA of 3.36, 116 strikeouts in 25 appearances against the Pirates in his career. Trying to get some. Here we go. Trying to get some stats. Okay, career stats against Freddie Peralta. Would you care to guess who on the Pirates roster has the best batting average against Mr. Peralta?
I'm going to say Brian Reynolds because he's got a 1.031 on base percentage.
Well, he would be second. Joey Bart's actually 1 for 2. With a reasonable.
All right. Well, I guess you need to put a minimum bats on that one or something.
Yeah.
Come on, 1 for
But
2.
no, Reynolds would be second. He's had 39 at bats. He's hitting 385. Spencer Horwitz is hitting 286 against him. Not a lot of the Pirates have a lot of at bats though against him.
That's weird.
Reynolds has 39. Ozuna has 20. O'Neill Cruz has 13. Gonzalez has 10. And those are the only guys that have double digit at bats against Peralta. So, it could be a case where, not knowing, especially somebody like a Brandon Lau or a Ryan O'Hearn that have been in the American League for the last several years, wouldn't have seen him. They have 5 and 6 at bats respectively.
O'Neill Cruz
So
hits an average, and he has a home run in City Field. His average exit speed is 115 miles per hour.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, the thing that I like about if you watched him play in the World Baseball Classic, he is watching the ball better all the way through. He's not taking his eye off the ball. Normally, when he would swing for the fences, he was jerking his head down the right field line.
No,
He didn't do that in the Classic, and he hit really well in the Classic.
I'm sorry, your guy is not very good at City Field. In 13 games, he's batting a 152, 5 hits, 1 home run, which came as a clutch hit in 2019, I believe, in extra innings. Home run, 6 RBIs, and 4 runs. Just scored himself.
There's that.
Ryan O'Hearn in City Field.
Yeah. I mean, O'Hearn's 1 for 6 against Peralta. But I think we're going to see. I would be surprised if we didn't see O'Hearn tomorrow. Starting at first, or in left, either one.
I think it's going to be Horowitz.
Well, we could very possibly see O'Hearn in left also. Cruz in center, and then Reynolds in right.
Reynolds moved the right, which I don't. I mean, we'll find out. I mean, obviously, we've only seen him in left usually, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm not. I think that's a trial thing to see if he has the arm to do it. And I don't know that he has a right fielder's arm. The problem is the best arm in the outfield is the center fielder. And I don't think there's any argument about that.
No,
I mean, O'Neill Cruz has got a freaking rocket. But you're not going to put him in right field either. So it should be interesting, though. Skeens, of course, will be starting. It's looking like Mitch Keller is going to start opening day at home for the Buccos next week. The Skeens will pitch the last game of the second series on the road. So, the Pirates it'll be Keller to start things at
PNC Park. Rich just banished on me I don't know where he went. Okay. Not really good about myself sometimes, but yeah. No comments, nothing, me by myself. Panicking Rich. Let me text Rich and see what has happened. Okay. Whew. Oh no. Oh, there we go.
But
what happened? What you just banished on me, and I was like, "Oh, a dead air, like blood of dead air." Rich, I was very.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah, I mean, I think this month is going to be. I think the month's going to be very interesting for the Pirates. If they can get off to a decent start, that could definitely make a difference. You sit here and you look at what they've got, and I'm trying to pull up their schedule right now while we're talking. But there we go. Of course they start with these first three against the Mets. Um, and then they go,
We go
there
right
we
into
go.
Cincinnati, Rich.
Three in Cincinnati. And then they've got Baltimore at home for three, San Diego at home for three, at the Cubs, four with Washington at home, three with Tampa at home, and then they come here to Arlington for the Rangers, three in Milwaukee, and then they close out the month with four in St. Louis. So, they're going to play the gambit. They're going to play bad teams like St. Louis and Washington, but they're also going to play some really good teams like the Mets, like Cincinnati, like Tampa Bay. So it'll be interesting to see, how it plays out for these guys over the court. But if they're 500 at the end of this month, okay, I'm not mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that at all if they finish this month 500 or even a little bit over, maybe a game or two over.
Hold on,
But
I'm
my I
looking at
did
I'm
have
looking at
my
this I'm
biggest
looking
question.
at this I'm looking at the schedule. I'm not ignoring you.
Well, I'm not sure that Lazinski is actually going to be.
The five?
I'm not quite sure Lazinski's my guy for
Well,
the
if
number
he does
five
better
spot.
than last year, Rich, that'll be good.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a starter. That's the I think we'd have been better off putting Urquidy in there, who has experience as a starter. Um, you know, I'm just not. I'm not real comfortable with him as the starter. Um, but you know, according to what they're showing on the depth chart, this is per ESPN. They're showing Horwitz at first, Lau at second, Gonzalez at third, Triolo at short, Reynolds in left, Cruz in center, O'Hearn in right. That makes more sense.
For what?
Reynolds in left and O'Hearn in right.
Where are you
That
reading
makes more
this?
sense. ESPN, the Pirates depth chart on ESPN.
I could have swore I heard Don Kelly said Reynolds was going to play right.
That's everything I've been hearing too. But according to what ESPN has on their website,
Is that updated like now?
they update it every day. They've got Mangum is basically the fourth outfielder. York is the fifth outfielder.
I mean, we'll find out in less than 13 hours.
Something like that. Yeah.
Lineup should be out. Lineup should be out. I'm going to say 10:30. I mean,
Somewhere in there.
it might even be ready now. Who knows?
It's possible. I mean, I'm sure it's ready. They just aren't releasing it yet. The only thing we know for sure is that Skeens is pitching against Peralta. We know that.
Any
Um,
have these two ever faced each other? I didn't get a chance to look.
Skeens Peralta, I believe they did. Um, huh. A little bit off topic, but this will be the fifth opening day starting pitcher matchup between the league's reigning ERA winner and the league's reigning wins leader.
Wait, what was that?
Um,
May 23rd, 2025. Skeens out pitched Peralta through both.
yeah,
Though both received a no decision in extra innings. And then in August 12th of 2000, Peralta earned the win with 6 shutout winnings, while Skeens took the loss after giving up 4 runs.
yeah,
Okay. So he's 0-1 versus Peralta.
yeah.
Man, that sun just killed my face this morning today.
I'm really interested to see what happens tomorrow. Especially with these first 6 games on the road.
Are you gonna be able to work?
Um, hmm?
Are you gonna be able to work, or are you gonna be watching the game?
The answer to that question is yes. I'll be doing both. The real challenging part is going to be flipping between the Pirates and the Rangers.
They both play at 1 or 12.
Well, the Pirates are 12:30 my time,
Right.
and the Rangers are 1:30 my. Or no, actually, they're 12:30 for both because the Rangers are in Philadelphia.
You need a split screen, Rich.
Oh yeah,
Split screen or double cable.
no. Good thing is I have a last channel button on the remote, so I can just go, bloop, 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 and it doesn't make any difference. By the way, a little update: we're in the top of the fourth, still 5-0 Yankees.
I'm excited.
Logan Webb has calmed things down a smidge anyway. But
Damage is already done.
huh?
Damage is already done.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing the Giants don't have, unless you consider Rafael Devers that guy, is that guy that can hit you the 3-run homer and turn the game around.
Who didn't want to learn
Um,
from Will Clark?
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to depend on Matt Chapman or Rafael Devers to be that guy, but that's pretty much who that guy is on this team. They're going to have to stay close in games and win games that way. This is I can't see this being a team that's going to score a lot of have a lot of 7, 8, 9 run games. I think they're going to win a lot of games 4-2, 5-3, that kind of stuff.
I mean, no one wants to talk about
I
this. No one wants to talk about this college rookie coach.
well, I think a lot of people are wanting to wait and see because lest we forget what happened last year.
What happened?
Pat Murphy comes in to Milwaukee, and what happens there?
They did all right.
So I mean, what's to say that he couldn't do the same thing in San Francisco?
I get it. I'm curious to see how he does.
I am too. I'm very curious to see. There's a lot of college head coaches that I would have been very interested to see what they would do in the majors. Paul
Usually,
Maneri.
you usually just don't see that jump that far or that fast.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but Paul Maneri that was at LSU that most recently, where the heck was he? South Carolina? But I always thought he would make a good major league manager. Um, I always thought Augie Garrido would have been a great big league manager that was the manager at or the head coach at Texas for a long time. Um, So, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I've always stood for that opening day should be a national holiday. I I'm not a big fan of this whole thing of doing what they're doing tonight. It wasn't that long ago
I
that the
figured the
tradition held.
why aren't the Dodgers opening up opening night?
I don't
It's,
know.
I mean, this should be more frustrating. Why aren't the Dodgers opening night? They won the World Series.
I understand,
I mean, they do it for
but
football.
I mean, imagine if you're Cincinnati. For over 100 years, the first game of the Major League Baseball season was played in Cincinnati. First pitch of the season was thrown in Cincinnati. And they got rid of that about 7 or 8 years ago. And they started doing stuff like this, and they started doing the Japan series they had last year with the Cubs and the Cubs and Dodgers, was it?
I think so.
They played those couple of games, right before the season that's kicked off the regular season, supposedly. Um, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's they're getting too cute with stuff, and they're just not paying attention to the fact that it can be really good the traditional way, and it's like that in all sports. But
Are you aware the Pirates have not had a actual home opener since 2016?
no,
Like an open, like open the season game at
they've opened the
PNC
season
Park
on the road. Ever, hmm.
since
um,
2016, and um, we have not played a National League team at home opening weekend since 2022.
okay, I'm
And I
down.
know baseball
I
teams are
can.
baseball teams, but you still don't want to open up against a non-conference team.
Well, that's true.
I mean, we go right to Cincinnati. The Cincinnati. I don't know who Cincinnati. I have no idea. I did not look. I did not care. But what the Cincinnati Open? I imagine they do. I imagine they're letting every team run 3-3, right?
Pretty much, yeah,
So
yeah,
Cincinnati gets a home opener.
right. But it's not what it used to be. Was they played at 11 Texas time? There was a noon first pitch in Cincinnati, and it was that every year for 100 and something years. And then they got into all this fancy crap with and that's when they started backing the season up to start earlier. Um, along with when they expanded the playoffs. So, they're like I say, they're getting too cute with stuff. And now they've got this insane ABS thing going. Oh boy.
How is the
How about three?
broadcasting? How is the broadcasting crew? I mean, I
Um,
know you said I think you said on open mic or the night before you were not a huge fan of the crew, but how are they doing?
well, it's Matt Vasgersian, CC Sabathia, and Hunter Pence. I got to listen to Hunter Pence some when he did the Rangers color a few years ago, and he's okay. CC is a whole lot better as a studio guy than doing color. Vasgersian, no,
Is it
not a
just
play by play
is
guy.
it just a
He,
talkathon then?
yeah, he's not a play by play guy. He's trying. He's giving it. I mean, I will give him full credit. He's giving it a solid try, but he's not a play by play guy by any
You
stretch.
know, Rich, there's only been a few teams off my head that have had really, really good play-by-play guys. The Pirates, unfortunately, were spoiled in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Um, Obviously, it goes back to Prince, then it goes to Lanny, and then it goes to Greg Brown. So I mean, we were pretty spoiled. I mean, even we had Myron Cope, we had Bill Hillgrove, who with everything he does, he's still pretty good. Um,
Right.
Vince Scully, obviously. The
Yeah.
Cubs, Harry, and now obviously Brewers. The
Euchre.
Miller, Uke,
Euchre.
yeah, yeah, Uke,
The
Uke.
Rangers. The Rangers have Eric Nadel currently. Before that, it was Mark Holtz with Eric as the color guy. And that goes all the way back to when the 70s.
Were they? So they've been pretty energetic.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I'm just curious. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ones off the top of my head.
Tom
Obviously,
Tom Brenneman in Cincinnati was super good for a lot of years. He took over from his dad Marty. Um, that was a case where it was an even move. Then you had Jack Buck in St. Louis, and then it went downhill when his kid took over. Um, but I'm not a Joe Buck guy. He's better with baseball than football, but that ain't saying much. I don't think
do
he's
you think
very
he'd
good
be
at
better
either
if they
one.
took him away from Aikman?
No,
So he
he
needs a.
he's
You think still needs a big name to carry him over then? Because
no. I think
unfortunately, I
he.
was there the night he got inducted into the Football Hall of Fame.
I think Joe Buck needs to get better at knowing how to convey the information that he needs to convey. A play-by-play guy is supposed to give the information of what's happening with the ball. He follows the ball, and he he tries to play both roles a lot of times. And that's not what he's supposed to do. The color guy is there to talk about everything but the ball. Play by play guy is supposed to give you down and distance, score, and what's happening with the ball. It's pretty, you can get a little, you can be entertaining with it. You can do different things with it and that kind of deal. But when it comes to the nuts and bolts of the game, leave it to the color guy. That's his job. Same thing with baseball if you have a two-man booth. Um, in fact, the Giants, who are playing tonight, they've had a two-man booth for a number of years, and they do pretty well with it. Tampa's done real well with their two-man booth. The Rangers two-man booth is okay. I'm not I'm not the biggest fan of Dave Raymond, their play-by-play guy. There are a lot of times I'll turn the TV down and put Eric Nadell and Matt Hicks, or Eric and our buddy Jared Sandler um, on and listen to them. You know, um, so yeah, I mean, it's not even a case of you have to be real energetic. Because Adam, you've heard Vin Scully, pieces and that. He wasn't the most fiery guy. Um, Harry Carey, the more old styles he had in him, the better. But I
Something
mean,
something wrong with
but
JT Realmuto, or is he just getting old, or what?
kinda. I mean, Real Muto is,
I'm just curious. I just saw Paul dropped him.
yeah. I mean, he's definitely not going to be. He's not going to be a top 12 or 15 catcher in baseball this year. Um, I think he is starting to kind of get to that point. He's DHing a little bit more than he's catching. Um, he's winding down, but not winding down as well as somebody like Sal Perez. So, you know, Sal Perez is still playing tremendously well. Um, and shoot, he's, was he 38? Something like that?
I'm losing the Colin right now. Jesus Criminy.
35.
Fuck.
Do what?
I'm losing the Colin right now. I know it's early, but I'm losing the Colin because Willie Adamas can't hit the damn ball. He's 0 for 2.
No, look at it this way. Whoever has Judge is looking at the golden sombrero right in the eyeballs. He's got 3 strikeouts in the first 4 innings.
Yeah, but we don't get negative points for strikeouts, so he's just over 3. It doesn't matter.
Right, but that hurts his average. Hurts your team average.
It's Jeremy. Why he gets 2 hits in the next 2 at bats? He's still batting 500 or 500. He gets 3 hits in his next 4 at bats. He's still batting 500.
Yeah, maybe so, but
Rich, all you have to do is go 1 for 3 all week, and you're going to be batting 400 almost.
well, Ramos just got me another hit.
Well, screw you. Oh man, I just don't want to lose to Colin.
Well, I mean, I've got 3 leagues that I'm a big part of. And actually, Jamie Ward, who is part of our Go Big or Go Home league, as well as our Stick to Wrestling league. I know I want to do well against him and that kind of deal. And then we got a league that I was in last year, that I did okay in the beginning, and then it just kind of went because everybody on my team was getting hurt.
That's the only problem with baseball. There's so many injuries, and there's
Well,
so
at one
little.
point in time, I had a 26-man roster and 8 guys that were on the IL.
Right.
And
It's
they were
just
guys I couldn't drop because when they weren't on the IL, they would start.
right.
So I just kind of, I
Shrugged it
think I
off.
ended up 7th or 8th overall. It was not a good deal. But yeah, as we sit right this second, I'm what am I doing? I'm a 3-0. So I think I'm playing Mike. But I've got Wells and I've got Caballero in that one tonight. So
Got people making moves right now, Rich. Keep getting all these notifications.
yeah. Well, yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of people that like say a Suzuki went on the IL. And there's a lot of guys that got drafted in fantasy leagues as well that were already going to be on the IL. In one of my other leagues that's a deeper league, Jared Jones got picked up. Obviously he's immediately on the IL.
Right.
Garrett
Did
Cole got
did
picked up in our league. I don't
did
remember who picked up Garrett Cole, but
smart
went
move.
straight to sure, but it won't be until after the All-Star break until you can use him. But he
That
goes
would be
straight to the injured list.
that would be faster than you know it though.
You're right. You're right. But I'm pretty happy with what I ended up with in our league. The only position I really wish I would have done better with is my outfield maybe a little shaky. Where
My
I've got
third
O'Neill
base.
Cruz, Teoscar Hernandez, and Chandler Simpson, and
I,
Kerry Carpenter as my 4 outfielders.
I like a Kerry Carpenter pick.
Yeah, and I like Chandler Simpson too. Teoscar's pretty solid. I've got a lot of positive thoughts on O'Neill Cruz. If you listened to the show last night with Open Mike, my hot take was that O'Neill Cruz is going to have a 40-40 season. Um, but I just don't have much of anything in the outfield outside of that. So, but
I have
it's
one.
gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun league.
I have one third baseman. One.
That's all you need. Third base. Third base in fantasy baseball this year is probably the shallowest in terms of quality.
And it's
Once you
Paredes.
get once you get past like Jose Ramirez, Junior Caminero, Alex Bregman, trying to think who else.
That's about it.
Once you get past those 3, it's a pretty good drop
It's
after
like
that.
it's third baseman to me is like tight ends. You got like
Yeah.
you got like 6, 7 tight ends, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I know this guy's probably going to be there next round, and if not, this other guy's almost the same guy.
Yeah. Well,
That's just the way I look at
it's
third
just
baseman. I don't
you
know.
don't find that many. and it's funny because the way that baseball shifts, because there aren't that many top tier third basemen. 10 years ago, there was a bunch of them, and it was second base that you had, or first base that you had to worry about. It's weird how it kind of just goes in cycles. That some years shortstop you can't miss. There's 15 different shortstops you could take and you can't miss. Other years there's three, and if you don't get one of those three, you're struggling. Um, that's why I did what I did grabbing Jose Ramirez, because I know, like, I'm sitting here. He's a baseball card guy. He's going to hit 280 to 300. He's going to hit between 25 and 40 homers, and he's going to steal me between 25 and 35 bases. You can write that down, you know.
Sure can, because
So,
he's worth a lot of money now.
yeah,
That was a nice contract extension. I thought that was probably the best signing for the Guardians all summer, all winter.
but it's you know it, that's really the shallowest position in fantasy this year is third base. And really, my backup is Caballero. I
I
didn't
will.
even well. I've got Ernie Clement as well. But he's four positions in one. Um,
I only got one. I got one that has three positions, but it's all infield.
gotcha. Well, it's now 7-0 here with one out in the top of the fifth after Willie Adames just airmailed their first baseman.
Good thing we don't have heirs, Rich. Good thing we don't have heirs.
Well, or no, they went to turn a 3-6-3, and Adames. Well, I'll put that one on the first baseman. I apologize. I take back what I said about Adames. He threw it in the dirt, short hopped the first baseman. The first baseman kind of olayed it. So that's on the first baseman. You have one job.
Catch
You've
the
heard me
ball.
go on this rant before, Adam. First baseman has one job:
Catch the ball.
catch the freaking ball.
That's it. That's your only job.
But I can guarantee you that's going to go down as an E6. You can write it down. That's going to go as an E6, which is garbage.
Ugh. Anyway,
So, the
are you?
score, in
Are you?
fact, you know what I got in yesterday?
What's that?
Check that out.
I can't see it. It's
Scorebook.
been.
My scorebook.
Yeah, I can only see the emblem.
Yeah. But yeah, I will literally, that's how much of a baseball honk I am. I will score the game while I'm watching the game.
So you got
I'm
double
that
duty
guy.
tomorrow. You got double duty tomorrow. You just doing Pirates or what?
Oh, yeah, I can only score one at a time. So I'll watch the Rangers in between half innings. So, but I'll probably watch tomorrow. I'll probably end up watching two games because there's going to be another game. The Tigers and somebody play on MLB Network. Tigers and Padres, is it?
Yeah.
Is the MLB Network game at 3:30. So I'll probably just transition.
So in other words,
Going Buckos.
your wife's not going to see you on date night.
I didn't say I was doing a night game. But see, the crazy part is about this. My wife loves baseball too. She really enjoys it.
Good. Does she keep book like you?
No,
Maybe you should have got her one, Rich, and maybe she could have found a new pastime.
I don't know. But I mean, I keep the whole deal. I track pitches and the whole works. Um, that's why whenever I used to broadcast baseball, I always did my own stats, but I kept my own book. It's easy and it's a slow enough moving game. You can do that. You can't do that with something like basketball.
No, no, definitely
But
not.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's really cool. I think I told you about this one year. for our anniversary, this was 6 or 7 years ago, right after they started pushing the games back. And our
Back.
anniversary is March 28th.
Didn't they?
Actually,
Oh,
this
you
Saturday will
mean
be
date
11
wise? I
years.
was like, wait, they moved the time up so these kids at school could be there an extra 20 minutes early.
Well, but they moved the games, back because they used to start 1st of April. Now it starts the last week of March. And the 1 year on our anniversary, the Rangers were playing the Cubs in Arlington. Yu Darvish was pitching for the Cubs then, who was my wife's favorite pitcher.
Right?
And we actually ended up going to the game on our anniversary. I got us super good tickets right behind home plate for next to nothing. And we spent our anniversary at the Ranger game watching the Cubs and the Rangers play.
Hey, as long as you both enjoyed it, that's all that counts.
Yeah. We went and saw a baseball game on our honeymoon.
That's what you said. You said that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild. I say this all the time. Well, I say two things all the time. A, I way outkicked my coverage, and I have no problem in saying that. And B, she gets me, which is really a scary thought because I'm kind of a difficult individual to figure out.
Really?
But she gets me. Oh, when it comes to the sports stuff and all that,
Hey,
that's just
Marcus.
my thing. So, Marcus?
I remember how to remember he changed his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, Dirty South.
But,
I was like, who the hell is Dirty South?
But yeah, I mean, you look at this game tonight. Webb's thrown 86 pitches in 5 innings, so he might be done. 9 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 7 Ks.
He might let him
Fried
go
is actually
too.
having a good.
He might let him go too. He might let him go.
He might.
He might.
Fried has gone 4 innings so far. He's given up 2 hits, struck out 4, no runs. Giancarlo Stanton's got 2 hits for the Yanks, and so does Austin Wells. So if this Yankees team stays healthy, which I realize is a monster if, they could make some hay in the AL.
I think this AL East is going to be fun to listen to, watch, whatever you do. You listen to series, you listen on the radio, you watch. But I think this AL East is going to be. I didn't forget you were a DJ. I just used to seeing on the go,
Yeah.
I think this AL East could be really, really interesting. I still think Boston takes it though.
I just think Toronto ends up taking it. I like what they look like, especially in comparison to last year. They did make a couple of moves. They brought in Dylan Cease, which I thought was a monster move. I think they can get one more good year out of Gossman. Hopefully they can get one more good year out of Scherzer. If Barger and Clement can play the way that they played the last half of last year, that's going to be a monsters. If Clement especially, because Clement didn't have a lot of power, but he played really good defense and hit really well. Didn't he hit like 400 in the playoffs or something like that?
Isn't he on a 26-game hitting streak in the playoffs or
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a power hitter by far.
But they got enough other guys to hit for power.
But he's an on-base guy, and that's what you need.
Exactly.
He's a good analytics thing, but whatever.
Well, he's a good 8-9-1 guy. Right. You've got enough guys like Vladdy Jr. and Kirk that can hit home runs. That's not what you're looking for him for. even Springer for that matter. You want him to get on base because this is kind of an old team. I don't see. I'm looking at their 25-man roster right now, and the youngest guy on the roster is Barger at 26. The oldest is Scherzer at 41, and there's a whole bunch of 30-year-olds on that team. So, the window may be closing, but I think they can get one more year out of it. What I thought was interesting on MLB Network today, they did their picks on that MLB Now show with, I'll think of his name in a minute, Brian Kinney
Okay.
and those guys. And every one of them had Seattle in the AL, coming out of the AL. Every one of them, all three of them. It was him and Chris Young, and I can't remember who the third guy was. Dan Plesac. Or not Dan Plesac, Al Leiter. And they all had Seattle coming out of the AL. They had them playing different teams from the National League, but all three of them had Seattle coming out.
I still don't see it. I still don't see it. I see Texas coming out. I see Texas winning the division.
I could see Texas winning the division if their starting pitching does what it's supposed to.
Right.
The bad part is going into opening day, Kumar Rocker is their number 5. I don't like that. They keep trying to make Rocker a starter, and he keeps bombing out. And I just don't know how many times they're going to keep trying before they relegate him to the bullpen and say, "This is what you're going to be," because he's not. Once he gets a couple innings in him, he's cooked. So, I understand where you're coming from, partially because it's really hard to repeat what they did last year. Because we both know Cal Raleigh is not hitting 60 bombs again this year.
For my sake, I hope he does because he's on my team. But
right, would it be a nice story? Sure. But the other part of it too, from where I'm looking at it, you got to remember they lost Eugenio Suarez. That's a big stick out of the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And they replaced him. Defensively, Brendan Donovan is a lot better third baseman defensively than Suarez was. But, like I say, that's a big stick that you're taking out of the lineup. And Julio has got to have a good start. For whatever reason, Julio Rodriguez forgets the first month of the season counts. He hits like 210 in April, and then end of the season comes around and he's hitting 295, 300 or something, and has a 30-30 year. He just forgets to play in it. If he ever played in April, like he does the rest of the year, he'd be a legit MVP candidate.
Could be. Rich, we're coming up on the hour, so let's
yeah.
What's your record?
Ooh, record for the Pirates. Wow.
What are you thinking? 84, 85?
That's exactly where I was going, was 84.
I was
84
in
and 78.
I was in between 78 and 84.
I'm going to go 84 and 78.
I bet my instincts say 84, but I still don't think it's going to be enough to win the division.
No, neither. I think Cincinnati wins the division. I think they come in second.
I think Chicago wins this division. We come in third. I think it goes Chicago, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. I've said it all along. So,
yeah, you have.
Could we sneak in as the wild card? Yes. Might I put $2
with 84 with 84 wins? Yeah.
Might I put $2 on that now? I might.
Be a good bet.
But that's the win the World Series. They don't have it. What it would be just to make the World Series or playoffs.
Well, but 84 wins in the National League, that'll get you in.
Should.
Um,
Should.
I mean, if you look at last year, let's look at last year in the National League. Um, in the National League, 84 wins would have made you holy mackerel. 84 wins would have made you the top wild card.
Really?
Or no, I'm sorry. 84 wins would have made you the third wild card.
I was going to say, because didn't the West have the West? San Diego
Cubs were
had.
the Cubs were the number one wild card. The Padres were the number two. Cincinnati was number three with 83 wins. So the Pirates would edge them out would have edged them out with 84.
I'm somewhere between
Um,
78 and 84.
I think it's the positive side there. I'm saying 84, maybe 85. Um, and to be perfectly honest with you, I think a decent sized chunk of that is going to be how much can Jared Jones contribute when he comes back. If he can come back and
I know
have a
you love the
nice
guy. I
solid
know you
run,
love the guy, but I am not in love with him like you are.
I think if he can come back full strength, he's your number two. If he can come back full strength, he's your two next year, not this year, next year.
And then they'll
If
try
they
and move.
can get,
They'll probably try and
hmm,
move Keller if Jones is going to be the number two.
what's wrong with Keller being the three?
I'm just going off of Pirate logic.
No,
It's a lot of money
I
to be a
mean, if you,
three.
no, the good part is your four and your five are cheap.
For now,
Well, I mean, you got a long time
Chandler
for
will be.
Chandler or Axcraft.
Chandler's what, 28? No, I mean like
Mm,
salary's up. I think 28 he goes in arbitration, right?
yeah, but is he that old? I thought he was like 26.
No, no, no. I was saying when he goes in arbitration, 28.
Um, Let me look. You may be right. But heck, if we can get 2 solid years out of him before that, okay. Let's see. He is, yeah, he's still pre-arbitration. Um, let's see.
Got it. And need me to look at.
Yeah, I mean, he's making 760K this year. Um, and he's only 23. So let's see. He's got a third of a year of experience. So, and major league experience. So he's looking, no, it would be 30 before he was arbitration. Isn't it 4 years? I think it's 4 years until you become arbitration eligible.
Pre-arbitration is 27, 28. So that's next year.
Say again.
Pre-arbitration is 27, 28.
This year be 1, 2. It would be after the 28th season, yeah. Because you're deemed once a player reaches 3 years of service time, they become eligible for arbitration, which would be the end of the 28th season.
So dumb how baseball gets away with this crap. Just saying, I think it's dumb.
Well, when you sign your contract, that's
mean,
part of the way your contract is set up.
I get it, but I don't know. I think that rule needs change too.
To what?
Came up in August. Any player that comes up in August doesn't get a year play.
No.
Played in the majors.
You have to have 172 days of service time to get a year.
So dumb.
That's anybody. You
I
need to
get
play
it.
the year to get a year.
I get it. So how like these pitchers don't like they play one game every 5 days.
But they're on the roster.
I don't know.
That's why you have decimals. Like right now, Bubba Chandler has 0.38 years of service time because he was on the major league roster for 0.38 of a year based on 172 days, which is how long the season is.
Gotcha.
So that's why if you see guys come up and down and up and down and up and down, they can accumulate that first year in 3 years or
So
4 years.
isn't that the same as the deferred payment?
It depends what contract they're playing under.
I'm just saying, isn't that the same? You're delaying their full time.
No. It says in the collective bargaining agreement that a player becomes arbitration eligible after they have 3 years of major league service.
I know. I was just pointing out stuff.
Until then, you're realistically playing under your minor league deal.
They just can't keep you under that because it's an MLB salary.
Well, once you start the season on the major league roster, then you get major league pay. You get the league minimum or whatever is agreed to.
I thought whenever you got called up, you got major league pay.
You do, but not for the whole year. It's
No, but
prorated.
for your time played.
Yeah, absolutely, you do.
Right.
Absolutely, you do. But if you're up for half the year, then you get your minor league contract for half the year, and you get MLB for the other half of the year, and you get the accrued service time at the same time.
Gotcha.
The really crazy part, and I've actually seen one of these, when you accrue 10 years of service in MLB.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of these lifetime passes that they get?
No.
They get this. It's like a gold card. Okay, kind of looks like a Social Security card, but it says that they are entitled to 2 seats, the best 2 seats in the house, to any major league game they go to. All they have to do is show that pass at the ticket office, and they get the best 2 tickets that are available.
That's nice, I guess.
I saw David Murphy's. He played for the Rangers and the Red Sox. Played at Baylor, but I saw his. I was like, son of a gun, that's pretty neat. And it's metal, so it's kind of like how you used to be able to get your Social Security card done in brass or whatever, so it didn't fall apart. But it's a metal business card size thing that they keep in their wallet.
That's pretty freaking neat.
That's pretty neat.
That is pretty neat. Rich, are we going to meet every Wednesday for Steel City Talk now that the season's kicking off, or are we going to meet every once in a while to talk about Buccos, or we're going to wait? What are we going to do?
I'm good with Wednesdays. Okay. You?
Yeah. I just didn't know if you want to do any more after games, whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we can. We can always do pop-up shows and that kind of deal, but our
Good chat.
our consistency show still being Wednesdays. And of course, we got the draft coming up for the Steelers, we got the playoffs coming up for the Pens. So, we'll have other Pittsburgh sports to talk about. Yes, it'll be dominated by the Pirates, especially in the beginning, but we're only a couple of weeks away from the draft in the NFL. We're a couple of weeks away from the NHL playoffs. So we'll have plenty of other stuff to talk about too.
Absolutely.
Because I know we've also got the baseball show on Mondays.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this is episode 1 of Steel City Sports. I am Adam. As you see, it says underneath my desk. um, at Sports Talking It on Twitter, guys. Obviously, you can get me a Driving the Top Productions. I got to figure out if we could move those bubbles around. I got to figure that out because I can't sit in my seat like I normally do. I look like Jamie tonight.
Yeah, and I'm Rich, as you can see from my desk there. Um, but you can get me at Big Rich 8371 on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it this month. Or Facebook, just my name, Rich Richardson. But yeah, I mean, this is that time of year. Everybody has their favorite time of the year for sports and that kind of thing. This is mine. NASCAR's in full swing. Baseball's getting going. NFL draft is right around the corner. The playoffs in hockey and basketball are getting ready to get started. I'm good. I'm
Busy, busy,
definitely good.
busy. Busy, busy,
Yep.
busy. Well, hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And we will see you next Wednesday on this show. Put the notification button for all the other shows. I think Marcus is live right now. Um, but yeah, but we'll definitely be here Monday night for baseball talk, Saturday with Jeremy, and Tuesday open mic. And anything else, Rich?
I think that's it, man. Appreciate everybody listening.
I'm ready. Click it.
See ya.